Hello and welcome back. I'm actually outside my workshop in the garage here, and I'm in the garage because we're going to be cutting the cowling. Cowling's made out of fiberglass, makes a lot of dust, so I've got a dust mask, I've got very good eye protection, and I'm actually going to wear gloves. So this video is about how we're going to cut this cowling out so it can fit over the engine. And so the first thing and I've got my Dremel tool. The Dremel tool is mounted in the same stand you saw before for drilling the holes, except it's got this flexible shaft on it. That flexible shaft can work like a pencil and is very good. So I've got a abrasive cutoff wheel. I've also got stones and sanding discs, and we'll see what works the best. So the first step in the process is to get a drawing, a cutout line here. By the way, the instructions on page 18 in the manual are a very good description of this. But I'm going to measure my engine, draw a rough approximation. I want it to be undersized first. Get a rough approximation and try it several times. The first thing I'm going to do is measure how this will fit. That's why I've got the propeller on. I've got the wooden 11.6 propeller on, I guess. And I want to make sure that the hole, you have tiny little holes right here on the side, and that needs to fit right here in the hard part of the wood of the firewall. And I want to measure that and get the measurements of the head, where the muffler goes, and all that. So the first step is to do those measurements. So I'm going to stop here, get my ruler, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the first part here is to hold the engine cowl up to where it's going to get screwed on just by hand, and I want to make sure that that position is going to clear the prop here. So it's going to clear the prop. It's got about maybe a 1/4 inch clearance there, and that'll be just fine. So the front of the cowl is even with, let me see here, that gets screwed in there and there. The front of the cowl is even with the silver ring on this thrush washer. So this front part of the cowl here is even with this silver ring on the thrush washer. So I'm going to use that as my reference point for the front of the cowl to measure back how far each cut needs to be out. The other thing you got to remember is this cut has to be far enough back so that you can tip it on like this, get without the prop there obviously, that you can get that in there and underneath without it being in the way. So next step is to take the prop off and do some measurements. Okay, I'm going to show you how I'm doing this. I took the cowl, and the bottom has this cut out, so that's the bottom. The top is nice and flat. It's going to go in that way. And so I took the top, turned it upside down, and drew it on a piece of paper. Okay, maybe too light for you to see, but I've got it drawn there on a piece of paper, and so it's full scale. And so what I'm going to do is, this paper is a little thicker than normal. This is like cardstock paper, but it'll still run through the printer, so it's printer paper. So I'm going to do my design on this, cut it out with scissors, and then see how it fits over, and then we'll see, we'll do that before we actually cut the cowl. Okay.
Okay, I'm back and I'm going to show you my cutout. This is the paper cardstock cutout, and that's what my engine looks like on paper. And so when you try to put it on, it will clear the needle valve here. It'll clear the throat and clear enough to go underneath the muffler on the far side here. The only other thing that may be a problem is as you try to put this in, with this going through the hole in the front, whether that will clear or not going this way, don't know yet. We may have to round this out a little further so that head will slip over and then the cowl can drop down. But it's a good first approximation. I'm certainly going to cut it inside those lines and then work my way out to where it actually needs to be. So we'll be cutting and fitting, cutting and fitting, cutting and fitting using the Dremel tool. Okay, be back in a minute. Okay, so this is the pattern I drew for my engine. The outside black marks is inside the line of the pattern that I cut out on the paper, so just give me a little extra and see how it fits. The big square in the middle is where I'm going to start, and I'm going to cut out that square with the abrasive cutoff wheel. So let me get set up and I'll be back in a minute.
Okay, here I am. Got my safety glasses on, got my mask on, actually got gloves on, keep the fiberglass away from my skin. So, got my abrasive cutoff wheel, and gonna hold that, turn it on, and we'll see how well this cuts. Okay, that seemed to work good. Got my square cut out. Always good to practice on something before you get to the lines. And I'm going to actually use this square later. I'll show you what I'm going to do with it. Alright, I'm going to switch tips. Be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. And so I have switched to a sanding drum, and I want to see if I can get the camera a little closer. Hold on a minute. Okay, also notice that I've covered up the airplanes. I don't want any dust on it. So I've got my sanding drum, I've got my piece ready. I'm going to hold on to the sanding drum up in the air while you turn it on. Top medium speed. And let's see how this does. Okay, that seems to be doing very well. I'm staying inside the line, and this is a coarse sanding drum, but I'm going to stop for a second and be right back. Okay, I'm going to see if I can turn around so you can see how I'm doing this. Even this is a very sharp tool. You don't want to get anywhere near your fingers. The other thing is we got a nice big pile of fiberglass here. I've got to actually have a fan sitting over there blowing on me, so any fiberglass that's in the air will get blown that way, just to keep it out of me. All right, so I'm going to turn the that's about on number 6, and here we go. Okay, it's cut out. Remember, this is a rough size, so that's been cut out, and we will see. We stop the camera and we'll get set up to see if it works. Okay, I'm back, uncovered the airplane, and now we're going to try and see if it fits, and not gonna. Alright, so I've got the prop coming out the front here, that's not a problem, but in order to get over the cylinder head, this part is right here back against the firewall, and so I've got to pull that forward enough to get it around the cylinder head. So I'm going to mark where that point is with my finger, and then mark it with the Sharpie. And so I'm going to have to draw an arc right about like that. So let me finish drawing it and I'll show you what it looks like. The plug is through, but you can't get it over. So I'll show you what I drew here. So I'm going to cut this part out now, and I'm going to sneak up on it too. So I'm going to cut in there, not cut the black line yet, and if I end up leaving the black line, I don't have a problem with that because it will wash off with the alcohol. So let me get set up for the next cutting. Okay, back again. We're going to cut this out and see, that may be close. Still don't know yet how far we may have to go on this side for the muffler, but at first glance it looks alright. Okay, got my mask on, got my gloves on, got my glasses on, got my fan on, holding this while I'm turning the Dremel on. Okay, and away we go. Keep your fingers clear. Okay, that looks good. Turning it off. Okay, that's off. I have a rag handy to wipe it. I actually have a vacuum cleaner over there to vacuum up this dust so it doesn't get all over the garage. And so let me stop here and I'll see how it fits.